Hello, good morning. Marshy here with another newsletter wrap up of AI versus Marshy. You can find it on my website, lukemarshall.net/newsletter. But as always, quite happy talking through this stuff on the camera because today's edition was packed as per usual. I think one thing that's been really interesting in the AI space is this tension between big tech and sort of, I guess, future facing companies that control a lot of the digital resources versus the battlers, like communities that really want things to be open source and people like myself who are keeping an eye on things and really don't want it to be a case of the haves and have nots. And so this week, we sort of look at that and talk about the race to capture share, not necessarily share what we've got. And an engineer recently left NVIDIA. NVIDIA's a GPU company exploded in popularity thanks to the popularity of gaming, crypto, and now AI. And he's writing a book that's coming out next month, basically advocating that, hey, this concentration of power, that's the real issue here. Forget all the other knock-on effects of AI. There's some big problems to come. And there's a really interesting article called How Big Tech is Ruining the Dream of AI. And I think the writer's argument is that there's a lot of hyperbole around here that this is going to be game changing, this is going to be amazing, but not a lot of detail. And I think that's probably by nature of being relatively new, but also big tech as a company, as an entity, doesn't exactly have a great track record with this. Spotify has ruined music for some artists. Airbnb has kickstarted a housing crisis. And the author also references the term shittification, where apps get progressively more shittier for for reasons that don't make sense. The tool of the week is the stock music app. I had a play with this and tried logging in and gave it a go. It was a little slow, but essentially, stock music, is something that is pretty easily replaced by AI. And if you can't get through that, YouTube also has an audio library that you might not be heard of. And because I love the weird and wonderful with this newsletter, AI and Souls is the third thing I covered. And the Open Souls project is basically a researcher looking at AI in a different way. I think some of the language around AI is that we have this super intelligence that can completely understand everything we do and helps us. I think his name was Patrick. His project is all about, well, what if we can make it more like us? And the research project that he did was essentially inject empathy into a conversation and control a conversation between two AIs that were live and get them to behave a bit more human-like or soul-like his language. And yeah, this is a weird thing. But what I love about this is that there are thousands of people, if not tens of thousands, that are looking at these weird things and going deep on them. And something like this could actually change things for AI in the way that big tech or big revolutionary change can't. And so the example, imagine if people can't get through to a disaster response line because they're inundated with calls, it was answered by AI. And if that AI could be more empathetic sounding to the person's needs in a crisis, is that a bad thing? I don't know, but the work like on stuff like this is incredible. So that's what covered in the newsletter today. I do a little shout out for a writing community that we've just started. There's a few of us and we're having a go. Yeah, and if you'd like to subscribe, you know where to find me. Cheers. Have a good weekend. Bye.